All right, it is game number 2 of the final round between Team raGe and Team Just the Usual for the League Monthly 2012 February tournament, brought to you by Esports Monthly. On regards with 4th Oracle from Dirt Nap Gaming. It is going to be a great game. Game number 1 went to Just the Usual. We see Just the Usual on top right now with Corki, Shyvana, Janna, Irelia, and raGe. On the bottom for Team raGe, it's Nunu, Misfortune, Cyan, and Malphite with Lee Sin. 4th Oracle, if I had to give it to one team or the other when it comes to team comp, I'm actually going to go ahead and give it to Team Just the Usual. I think they have the stronger lineup. I think they also have the stronger counter picks. raGe is really strong against Cyan. I think Irelia does a great job against Lee Sin. Shyvana, Malphite will be an interesting jungle against each other just because Malphite has the opportunity to farm the jungle really nicely. Shyvana does a great job with the counter jungling, and it'll be interesting to watch bottom lane. We've got the Nunu. We've got Nunu and Misfortune, very, very strong, especially with that Blood Boil. And we've got Corki and Janna, which is a very strong bottom lane as well. So I think it's going to be a great game. Team comp-wise, early on, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Just the Usual.
I agree. Their early game is very strong. However, we're sort of seeing the opposite of what we usually see for Just the Usual. They've chosen a really strong early game composition where the lane compositions are definitely in their favor. And this time it almost looks like raGe wants to try and drag this game out. So sort of seeing some backwardsness here, if that's a word.
I'm a little bit surprised by raGe. If you look at raGe, he already picked his skill. He picked Overload as his skill. So I have to assume they're not going to go for level 1 fight. Just because that's more of kind of a damage dealer. You do have the snare. They didn't go for it. Oh, it looks like Shyvana getting a little bit too close there. Cyan does not have any one of his skills selected either. Cyan, you can kind of go both ways. You have the Cryptic Gaze dealing the stun. You can also get a quick level 1 in raGe, so that way you can start building up health right away with your last hits. But it looks like we're going to see a little bit of an engagement here from Team raGe. They're starting to make their way into the jungle towards the red, and we see the CV go off.
Yeah, it looks like... No, that CV was from Nunu. This time, we've seen that raGe really loves their clairvoyance. In fact, I don't think we've seen a single game where or not just Decade, but just their support hasn't taken it. They obviously think it's a very strong skill, and I guess they've been using it to try and make up for the fact that they don't buy a lot of wards. But of course, we saw last game just wasn't able to make up for it. We'll see if they can do it this time. It looks like Slacko's having trouble trying to get that last raid. Just like, never mind.
Forget it. I had somebody in chat here say something as well, and even though I do kind of have to give it team comp-wise over to Just the Usual, Team raGe does have the Skin War 1, I believe, with the Nunu bot, as well as the Lee Sin and Misfortune. No Malphite skin, but that Nunu bot is just too strong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Really enhances the damage there.
See, now we see that shield go up from Cyan. He's going to grab a quick level 1 shield. I'm a little bit surprised by that. He's going to go in and deal a little bit of... Wow, look at that damage done onto raGe. raGe is going to answer with a quick overload, though, and do a lot of damage onto him as well.
Yeah, it looks like Slacko is going to be trying to push the lane really hard. Might be trying to feed minions to the tower as quickly as he can. With that level 1 shield, that's not something you usually see. Then again, I'm not certain what you would level.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit surprised too. Oh, we see Lee Sin doing some damage onto Irelia, getting that slow off, and wow, Irelia taking a lot of damage from Lee Sin early on in the game. Lee Sin right now, item-wise, only with cloth and with cloth and pots, so I'm surprised he's doing as much damage as he's doing. I will say this, kind of surprised that both junglers, both Malphite and Shyvana, are both kind of going with more conservative routes. They're both not invading, they're both kind of just farming up the jungle and making their way through.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, I think Just the Usual really needs that early game aggression because right now they have the lane advantage. And if they don't take advantage of that, they are going to be in a lot of trouble when team fights roll around. Because like we were saying, raGe has an incredibly strong initiation comp here.
Oh, we see a gank going down on mid. There goes the shield from Cyan. Cyan is getting hit hard. He is ignited. There goes the overload onto him. Shyvana is running. She does have the red buff and the flash off from Cyan, and that is going to be all they get as they head out of there. We do have Malphite sitting up at the Wraiths here, possibly looking to go in, not going to go in, so we do see some damage and the flash down from Slacko. However, we do see Lupinus, both of them really low on mana, and we see Malphite just kind of lingering around there, possibly looking to take advantage of that lack of mana from raGe. It looks like he is going to go in there. Does he have flash? He has the red and blue buff. He is going to pursue him a little bit here. It looks like raGe is going to get away. No, raGe still going in there. I'm not sure why raGe went
because
back
Shyvana's
in there.
there.
Shyvana is in there, but man, that was kind of a little bit of a risky maneuver, especially with as low mana as he had. But
I wouldn't necessarily say so, because Shyvana was right there, and Scion was out of mana. He was basically going to be a big brick that can't do anything. Now, it looks like we have Malphite coming up around Bush. Lee Sin has baited Aurelia into engaging, and here comes Malphite. He's landing the auto attack, so red buff is going. Aurelia flashes out, and she's going to be fine. Going to use her health potions. She has a lot of them. Going to be using her health potions to heal up. Lee Sin really doing work. Malphite really doing some work right there. We're seeing that they've hit level 4. That's usually around the time when we see these ganks. I'm surprised that we didn't see level 2 ganks, but I suppose I can settle for level 4.
Yeah, it has been kind of a conservative start as we see a slow go off onto Aurelia there. Wow, big damage again, but the stun goes off onto and then the ignite! Lee Sin falls to Aurelia, first blood going to just the usual, and if there's one person you don't want to feed on this team right now, that is going to be Aurelia with Pawn Gypsy.
Yeah, both Aurelia and Shyvana have the ability to jump onto the damage dealers that raGe have. It would be a really good way to stop that initiation. And so if Aurelia gets fed or Shyvana gets fed, Shyvana is going to ult onto Misfortune, who doesn't have an escape besides her little slow, or is going to... I guess that's the only person she can really jump on, because Scion is a really, really tough AP caster. Let's see. Yeah, I'd agree. That's the last person you want to feed right now.
We do see some big damage going on down on Misfortune from Corki, who has those shrapnel shards.
It looks like we have a sort of gank going on. Slacko's been caught out of position. Nope. Doesn't want to chase it because they know that Malphite is nearby with red buff. Going to time out pretty soon, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw both Shyvana and Malphite just hanging out in the jungle for a little while until they get their level 6 and they can really get some ganks going.
Surprising. Look at the runes that Cyan must be running. Cyan taking some pretty big damage there from Ryze. Cyan right now currently has 49 AP. Now, he does have a Doran's Ring, but that's only giving him 5 AP. He has got to be running a lot of AP runes right now, and he's doing a lot of damage with his shield. Now, we see Malphite starting to make his way in there. I think he was trying to do something onto Ryze. Ryze is just going to chill in that bush right now and kind of hang out for the time being and not really do too much of it. Oh, he's still sitting there. Malphite is only level 5. He doesn't have his ultimate. If he had his ultimate, I think they could take Ryze and take him fast.
Now, Corki is back for the first time and picked up his Doran's Blade and his Vampiric Scepter along with a couple of health potions. That's really going to give him some strong sustain. In the right corner, we have Misfortune, who has opted for a second Doran's Blade instead of a Vampiric Scepter. Yeah, it looks like actually Malphite wants to try and gank Loopiness. Nah, he's just going to step away. That's been happening a lot mid lane. They just sort of wander left and right. The wards don't really seem... the wards are actually doing a lot of work. They hang next to the side that has a lot of wards, and they just sort of wander away as soon as a gank comes. Good decision picking up wards so early on for mid lane, because both teams have pretty strong gankers. Of course, you have Shyvana, who does really well once she has red buff, but Malphite... a lot of people underestimate her ganking potential, but she does have a lot, especially when she has red buff, because she can speed herself up, deal lots of damage there. It looks like we have a little scuffle here. Pawn Gypsy might actually be killing Lee Sin. Nope, she's not going to dash onto him because it was on cooldown, using her Transient Blades to just sort of farm up, push tower, and Lee Sin is going to be forced to back.
It looks like Cyan and both Ryze are going to be able to pick up their blue buffs. Yeah, we have been seeing a lot of that. Right now, the score only 1-0, both relatively close within 200 gold of each other, and you see a lot of the junglers camping around that mid lane, doing what a lot of people like to call is babysitting. And oh, look at Ryze doing some damage onto Cyan. Cyan is going to use his stun off on him, and Ryze just able to do a lot of poke damage, able to do a lot of burst damage onto Cyan. We might see Cyan go down pretty soon here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Shyvana kind of start to make her way in and possibly try to take him out.
Yeah, Shyvana is picking up her red knot right now, and that will give her 6. That means you're going to have Shyvana with red buff and her ultimate. And
I do believe
starting up completely charged up.
This Wraith camp here is going to also give Malphite 6, so we're going to see both junglers with 6. Both of them probably start to make their way into... We see Shyvana starting to make her way up towards top. I'm not entirely sure what she's doing here. Looks like she's
sort of wandering around.
Malphite's starting to make his way around. Here we go. We might see the big gank onto raGe. I wouldn't be surprised by this. There goes the shield. The shield is bursted by raGe. raGe is doing a lot of damage. The ultimate from raGe. Malphite is sitting in there. Malphite is going to ultimate onto the both of them. We see the ignite. Big time damage. And in the meantime, Lee Sin falls down. We see raGe falling to Sion. And right now on the run is Chris with Shyvana. He is going to get stunned by Sion. The flash from Malphite. That is going to be a double kill for Sion right now, and that'll be a 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of raGe, actually, so it's going to be tied up 2-2.
I'm afraid I missed something. I neglected the fact that after Malphite ultimates, Sion is going to be in a perfect position to just pop his shield in the middle of everyone. And we're already starting to see that sort of power. Even in early game, that is going to give raGe the first dragon. And I'm really seeing this in the favor of raGe right now. Overall, we're starting to hit that point, it looks like, where they can utilize that team fighting potential. Malphite almost going down. He's going to be okay. But now they're moving on to Nunu. The ultimate comes from raGe Kenny, but he is out of mana. Doesn't want to chase. Can't Valkyrie in, can't Valkyrie out. Doesn't have mana for his missile barrage. That's just going to be a clean dragon. Then first dragon of the game for raGe.
So we see the 2 kills going in the favor of Sion. However, with that in mind, Irelia right now has the 2 kills for team just the usual. And like we were saying, Irelia really has the ability to go in. She has her passive, which is going to negate a lot of the CC on Sion. But like you said, I didn't think about that. What a great team comp decision to have Malphite, his ultimate, then you also have Sion with his shield, and don't forget Miss Fortune and her ultimate, able to do a lot of AoE damage onto the team. I mean, if you pick 2 characters in there, if you put 2 people in that area, and they are, you get Malphite ulted, and you also get ulted by Miss Fortune and the shield from Sion, that's so much damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh,
looks like they want to try and contest red. Oh no, Shyvana has been caught out of position. No, they're catching Lee Sin. Lee Sin tries to safeguard away, and he's going to be forced to flash over the wall, but that leaves Shyvana all alone. So Shyvana is taking a lot of damage, doing all that she can, but the Malphite ultimate comes out, popping 2 of them up in the air. And now it looks like both Shyvana and Malphite are going down. And now it looks like raGe is the advantage, so they're jumping on to raGe. And now looks like they're going to be able to finish off Irelia as well. She's very low. Lee Sin wants to get behind Sion right now because he's very low as well. Looks like Pawn Gypsy is... Nope. Tries to juke out the flash. Doesn't have it. Just goes down to the stun from Sion.
What a great heads-up play by Lee Sin, who saw that if Irelia would have had the opportunity to jump on him, that would have been a dead Lee Sin. Great heads-up play to kind of stay back there, but at the same time not leave just Sion over there, because if Sion would have been bursted down, his shield would have been out of there. Irelia may have had the advantage. She has a lot of lifesteal and could have gotten herself back up, so it's just kind of a great heads-up play from Lee Sin to stick in there, but not too close to allow her to blade surge out. And we see a couple of kills going in the favor of raGe. Now raGe all of a sudden has the advantage. They're up 5-3. They have the 2K gold advantage, and here comes Sion. Sion might start to dive down here. There goes the pop shield. Big damage, the ignite onto Janna. Corki is doing a lot of damage to Sion. Sion is going to fall to a turret, actually. The kill is going to go towards Corki, so that'll be a kill for a kill. Sion falling, Corki picking up the kill. I'm not sure if that was worth it.
I'm not certain that it was, because Corki is a very, very strong late-game character. Miss Fortune more coming to her prime around mid-game. So I would say that probably wasn't the advantage of Corki. Corki right now is doing absolutely massive amounts of damage. He was level 8. He did just pick up red buff, but he does have his ultimate. Right around level 8, level 9 is when you really see him doing a lot of damage, and when he starts taking advantage of that. He doesn't quite have his Sheen yet. I'm not sure that he really wants to go for it yet. I'm not sure. He could take a couple of routes right now. Because he has his Vampiric Scepter, but he also has his Phage.
Yeah, I think it was a good call for him to go with the Phage right away. It gives him a little bit of extra health. It gives him the slow as well, and a little bit more attack damage. It's kind of an interesting decision whether you take the Sheen or the Phage. Really, the Sheen is meant for if you're kind of having a great early game. Phage is kind of your conservative pick, whereas Sheen is if you want to go for kills kind of pick. Asking for the score right now, Team Just the Usual is up 1-0 right now over Team raGe. It is a best out of 3, and these are the finals for the League Monthly. So whoever wins, if Just the Usual wins this one, they go on to win the finals. They will be the champions for this month. If raGe wins this one, it's going to go on to a game number 3. And the way that raGe is playing right now, it could possibly go into a game number 3.
Yeah, I'd be expecting it. Right now, it's about 14 minutes in. We're looking for the sort of roaming. People are starting to move out of their lanes a little bit. And I would say that around this time is really when raGe is going to shine. Because they don't need their whole team to initiate really strong. They have some really strong initiations on their own. Specifically, Malphite, of course, with his ultimate, sort of known as one of the strongest initiations in the game because it just comes out and you cannot stop it. Sion also has a really strong initiation with his stun and his shield. Wow.
Did you see that damage from Sion?
I just watched that. Oh.
See, now that's one of the things. raGe is starting to fall behind, and one of the reasons you pick raGe over Sion is his ability to, with just one overload, burst the shield. And we see Sion, who does have his mobility boots. He does have his needlessly large Sion right now with a lot of damage. He's coming in there. It looks like he's going to try to go in for raGe. He does have the movement speed over him. We see the shield go up. There is no ward in there for right now raGe. However, we see it go down. The flash in from Sion. The flash from raGe. He will not be able to go in there and get there. So it's a great heads-up flash from raGe. However, if you look, raGe is actually almost 2 levels behind Sion, which is a big deal for your AP mids.
Yeah, level is really important to your mages. That's the whole point of sending them mid, is they get more levels than if you send them bot, but they have the safety of their tower. It's really not looking good for Just the Usual, because we were saying earlier that Just the Usual had the advantage in lane composition. They were probably going to win their lanes. However, Aurelia got that early kill on
we see mid a possible gank as the ulti in from Malphite. There goes the stun onto him, and Sion is going to take out raGe fast. Oh my goodness, that burst. And it looks like they're going to start to make their way down towards the bottom lane. Actually, they're pinging out Dragon. I believe Dragon's going to be back up pretty soon here.
Yeah, at about 16 minutes. It was taking it about 10 minutes, 5 seconds. So it's going to be coming up in just a moment here. Yep, there it is.
Brilliant play from Team raGe right now. And you know, I'm really starting to see kind of the team composition and the idea behind this team kind of come alive. I a little bit underestimated it early on because I was so focused in on the win lane, win game. But man, this team comp for raGe is a smart team comp, and they're showing that they also know how to play that game. Oh, there goes the flash in from Lee Sin. He wanted to get that ultimate off onto Shyvana. Not able to do it. Shyvana getting an ice ball from Nunu. However, they are going to back off and not initiate this team fight. They do have 4 champions in the middle right now. Nunu's going to start to make his way towards bottom, but that's a lot of damage from raGe. Oh, look at that shield from Sion, doing almost half the health from Irelia. Sion is fed 6-1. He has 120 CS over raGe, who has 81 CS right now. He has his boots. He's going to have his death cap when he goes back here, and that's huge.
Oh, and pings are going out onto Pawn Gypsy. On Aurelia, she's been caught out of position. Lee Sin is doing a lot of damage, but nope, not going to be able to stop her. raGe was coming up to try and defend her in case any members of raGe were there, but nope, gonna be fine.
Oh, it looks like some big damage from raGe onto Slacko, and Slacko's getting hit hard. You see the Ignite go down. I'm not sure the Ignite was that great of an idea from raGe. However, he did burst him about half health after he had the shield on. So raGe, he might be under-leveled, he might be under-itemized right now, but he is still doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, I have a couple reasons actually, but I'm not exactly. I don't think that Just the Usual has much of a chance here because right now, oh yep, there goes Turret, and wow, sorry, Sion is doing a lot of damage. But here comes Shyvana to turn it around. Sion has been snared, and the ultimate comes out, pulling him back. But the shield is popped before it can finish off raGe. Ignite didn't finish her. Sion throws out the stun to stop Shyvana, and looks like he's going to be okay. Unless Aurelia comes around, nope, Malphite's there to make sure that Sion gets away, and raGe is going to be okay as well. Wow, that was so close.
I'm kind of amazed they didn't take out Sion. They really need to take him out. He is on a killing spree. He did pick up his death cap. That is going to give him a lot of AP. I mean, we go over here. We're 18 minutes into the game. Sion already has almost 350 AP. That is a lot of damage. We look at his shield. That's doing over 600 damage AoE. That's not just one target. That's just AoE damage right there.
Yeah, he's also picked up his Cage's lucky pick. I wouldn't be surprised if he decided he wanted a Deathfire grasp just to make that burst even more powerful. Now, looking at who's doing really well in this game right now, Corky's doing really well, which is definitely good for Just the Usual. But so is Aurelia. Now, of the people that you want to get fed, I'm not sure that.
Oh, we might see a dead Shyvana there who has oracles. Sion doing some big burst. I wonder if they're going in to contest the blue buff. I have to imagine that's what they're possibly going to do here. raGe is in a bad position.
Yeah, in fact, I'd say that just about any position in the map is bad. Yeah, the sun comes out.
Wow.
Wow. That is intense. I'm pretty certain the only reason raGe didn't get taken down there from a couple more auto attacks is he picked up a Negatron cloak. Probably going for that Banshee's Veil to stop that huge burst damage from Scion.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like I was saying earlier, it's not looking good for just the usual. I would say that they need to focus down prime targets, but who are they going to focus down? Miss Fortune is going to be, if she's smart, is going to be staying a really good distance out of the fight, and the rest of the team is incredibly tough. Who are you going to focus? You're going to focus Lee Sin, who's building really tough right now. You're going to focus Scion, who's just a huge brick. You're going to focus Malphite? No, he's the tank.
Now, Scion might be a bit of a brick right now, but taking a look at his armor and his MR, Scion right now only has about 60 armor. Now, we do see a fight going off here. He does lay down his ultimate. Miss Fortune with her ultimate as well. Some big damage going off onto the opponent. I'm sorry, my screen is locked here for some reason. Some big damage from Miss Fortune onto the rest of the team. However, that's one of the things. Scion right now is the only one fed for Team raGe. That might not be a good thing for Team raGe. Just having Scion with the kills, you can knock him down. He only has 60 armor and 40 magic resistance. That's not a lot. He has a lot of health, so it's going to be hard to burst him down, but he is pretty squishy even with all that health.
Now, even so, it looks like Team raGe is winning most of their lanes. They've been last hitting much more reliably than just the usual has been, and of course you have fed Scion. That being said, I would actually have, even if raGe was behind in gold right now, I would have said that they had an advantage once mid and late game rolled around. But they have a gold advantage, and that's just going to be...
Oh, we see a big fight going on up top, and Flare is taking out Pawn Gypsy. Big time damage. That was amazing. I love seeing that resonating strike after the ultimate is laid down from Lee Sin. It just looks way too cool, and he looks super ninja when he's doing it. Oh, Shyvana might be caught out of place here. The ultimate from Malphite, and she is going to have to ultimate out of there. We do see the flash from Scion. However, he's going to start to take turret damage. Ignited is Shyvana right now, and they're going to back off and instead decide to take top tower. This is where we're going to see Team raGe start to take control of the map, and if they can start to take control of the map, they're going to run away with this one really fast.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to initiate, take out 3 people, then take Baron, and just finish the game. This is not looking good for just the usual. This is the opposite of what we were seeing last game. Last game we saw just the usual doing absolutely amazing early game, even though they had more of a team fight composition. Now we have the same thing happening with raGe. raGe has the team fight composition and doing well early.
We see some big-time pings going off in the Dragon area, and I wonder if we're going to see a little bit of a team fight. Scion is mid, or excuse me, Scion is bottom right now. He does use his shield and backs out of there. They're going to look for a quick Dragon, and once again, just kind of pushing that gold lead. Right now, they are almost 10k gold ahead. They're about 8k gold ahead. That is amazing.
Yep, there it is. They have it on a timer. There's just nothing that just the usual can do about this Dragon take right now. It looks like they want to initiate this fight, though. Nope. Looks like they're just going to dance around, want to see if Dragon's still there. They're going to run out of there. They do not want to initiate a straight-up team fight against raGe right now. We were talking, like, it's been incredibly obvious. raGe has the much stronger team fight composition, and if raGe is able to just sort of have that siege position that they want, and are able to send out one of their initiators, be it Scion, hopefully Malphite, that they can all see each other, then raGe has the advantage if they decide to initiate.
We do see traded towers there. Corki taking out the bottom tower, and then Corki taking out the bottom tower, Scion taking out the mid tower. Sorry to interrupt you there, but once again, raGe is just pushing out those lanes, making it so they control the map even more, and running away with this one even more. They're up 8-4 right now, again with the gold advantage. They want to take this into a game number 3.
Yeah, definitely. Just the usual is pinged Baron. I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to just ward up right now and see if they could somehow catch raGe while they're doing Baron. Even so, it may turn into a bait. No! They want to take it. They see that raGe is out of position. Miss Fortune and Nunu are both bot lane. right now, and they are way too far away to try and contest this. What an excellent decision.
This is exactly what we were talking about over the last couple of games, and this might be what brings back Just the Usual. They have just great heads up on map control and just great team awareness. There are no wards around Baron right now for Team raGe. Just a great heads up play. They know it. Shyvana has the Oracle, so they're going to take Baron. They're also going to grab the blue buff here and kind of regroup. And I'll tell you what, that was a big grab. Now they're only, that's an extra 2,000 gold. That gives them about a 2,000 gold
1,500 gold total.
1,500, but it brings them back within about 9,000 gold. Excuse me, actually, it's going back to about 10,000 gold, so it's not going to be a huge gold advantage. However, it will be the Baron buff, and it might help out in the next team fight.
Well, the big thing is, most of raGe's lanes are pushed, and by taking Baron, they are denying raGe the ability to engage on them the way they want to, unless Corki gets caught out of position. Nope, not gonna happen. Valkyrie's out of there. It looks like they jumped onto Miss Fortune, but Lee Sin kicks Aurelia back into the team. Miss Fortune's laid down her ultimate. Malphite throws out his ultimate. And, oh my gosh, the Janna ultimate is pushing everyone out, trying to save her team. Miss Fortune, however, is exactly where she wants to be, way out. Oh no, Lee Sin has been taken down by Raging Kenny. What an amazing turnaround play right there. Aurelia did go down, trying to take Miss Fortune down, but still, that was a 1-for-3 trade there, and that is going to help Just Usual get a little bit closer to catching up. It looks like this game isn't over quite yet.
Don't count them out. I mean, really, that was a really smart heads-up play from Janna, grabbing the ultimate there and pushing them out. If you have any sort of ultimate that's allowed, that really, not allowed, but I should say, any sort of ultimate that pushes a team, moves its placement, you're going to have the advantage in a team fight if you can play that ultimate just right. Janna played her ultimate just right. She was able to split up Team raGe, and they were allowed to pick them apart slowly but surely, and they had to bail out of there. So that was an extra 2 kills over the other two. It was a 4-for-2 exchange in favor. No, excuse me. It was a 3-for-1 exchange, I believe, in the favor of Team Just the Usual, who right now desperately need as many fights to go in their direction as possible. Great heads-up play, great play from Janna, and we might see a little bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, I was talking about this before the game started. If raGe could take out Janna before she can ult, that would mean a victory. However, they left Janna alive, and she was able to ult everyone away and get her team in the position that they needed to be.
Oh, it might be in an interesting position here. Mid lane, Sion with his big shield. You're going to back out of there. Sorry about that, fourth Oracle. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but man, that could have been a close one there. It does do a lot of damage right now. Something to take a peek at. Corki right now, 4-0. Corki right now is nice and fed. He already has his... Oh, and there goes the big damage onto Sion. Look at Sion is squishy. He is taking a lot of damage. However, he is going to back out of there after exploding out his shield, and not too much is going to come out of that. I wonder if Just Usual is going to force this mid-fight.
Yeah, Slacko is probably going to be stuck out of this. Nope, he's using his ultimate to lifesteal. Wow, what a good idea. Shows that he's been playing Sion for a while. But yeah, he's using his ultimate to lifesteal. He's going to be there for the fight if it does happen. Yep, Just the Usual, however, is going to get this tower for free. raGe doesn't want to engage this right now because Just the Usual still has Baron. Miss Fortune throwing his ult out, and Janna stopping it before Just the Usual takes too much damage. Wow, Janna really doing some work right now. Baby Panda Killer playing Janna.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary name. That kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I believe we have commented on it before.
Yeah, yeah. So we see this mid push still going on here. I'm kind of surprised that it's still going on. However, we see Just the Usual starting to push, and Corki has a lot of damage right now. He is 4-0. He has his Triforce and Adorians. That turret is going down fast. Sion is looking for some sort of way to get in there. He is not seeing a way to initiate, and I wonder if they're waiting. Malphite does have his ultimate up. I'm kind of surprised. I would think raGe would go in there right now. They have the better initiation. They have the better attempt. They have the turret, but we're not seeing it.
I think it was because they had Baron buff, and they were pretty certain Just the Usual was going to keep pushing mid. Looks like they are just going to keep pushing, and they wanted to wait till that Baron buff was gone so they could ensure that they're going to win a team fight. Looks like Malphite is looking for an ultimate here. Oh, no, he doesn't do it because his team is just a little bit too far behind him, and the tower is almost going down for Just the Usual. Are they going to stick around? I would be hesitant to say so. Now it looks like they're going to back off. They're going to go by. They have quite a bit of, both teams have quite a bit of gold in their pocket, And they were pushing lane because they want Dragon.
They do want to
CV
get Dragon.
goes
They
out.
haven't gotten Dragon yet this game so far. It's been 2 for 0 with Dragon in the favor of Team raGe, so it would be a pretty big Dragon for them to grab.
Yeah, however, it looks like just the usual. It's almost like they want to bait Dragon in the opposite way. They want to let them try and take Dragon, then engage on them, so that they're all sort of mixed up, so that Malphite isn't up front where he needs to be.
Uh-oh, we might see a bit of a team fight here. Malphite is going in right now, just the usual, way too grouped up. Janna with a great tornado, though, in. We see Cyan starting to run it. Nunu with the ultimate as well. Shyvana is taking a lot of damage. The first one to fall is Irelia to Nunu. I'm surprised by that one. However, Corki was sitting there doing a lot of damage to Lee Sin. He is going to get focused on instead. Janna with her shield, and it looks like it might be a 2 for 0 exchange, and Dragon in the favor.
3 for
Malphite
0.
almost falling, and yeah, excuse me, a 3 for 0 advantage, and Janna getting hit as well. This could be it right here for just the usual, as a big team fight win for Team raGe is also going to get them Dragon. Yeah, there goes the resonating strike and the safeguard back out to Cyan and the Dragon. 4 for 0 exchange in the favor of raGe. They're also going to be able to push out this mid lane and possibly go in and try to take this tower and this turret and inhibitor.
Now, that was a perfect example of the sort of team fighting power that raGe has. Even though just the usual had a great initiate on them, and even though Malphite wasn't able to use his ultimate in the sort of situation that he wanted to, they still had enough AoE left over to win that fight. Now this just means that raGe is going to get even farther ahead. That was really disappointing because just the usual looked like they had the sort of initiation that they wanted, the best initiation they were going to get for a long time, especially with Malphite not able to get his ultimate off, and raGe still comes out way ahead. I believe that was a 4 for 1 for raGe. That is just incredible. And after that show, even when raGe got initiated on so well and just the usual loss, it's not looking good for just the usual.
No, it's not. And also, oh, it looks like Janna and Lisa, no, not, excuse me, Lisa, not Shyvana. Shyvana getting caught out of place, and they are going to split. That is going to be a dead Shyvana. Janna is going to make her way out of there with her movement speed boost, but that is going to be a dead Shyvana. And right now, raGe is just doing a better job at having the map awareness, map control. I'm kind of surprised. Just the usual has been doing a better job this whole tournament of having good positioning, good map awareness, and right there, kind of bad positioning.
Oh, no.
And there goes Cyan falling hard. Excuse me, I was kind of going on about bad positioning. Cyan finding himself in bad positioning, and now it looks like Team Just Usual is going to take advantage of this because Cyan is really the only one fed for the team. Oh, big damage. There goes the ultimate from Misfortune, Nunu, and Malphite, allowing Misfortune to do a lot of damage. Janna taking a lot of damage. Ryze is going to pick up the kill. However, Malphite is going to take up Ryze. Ryze killing Nunu. Lee Sin is going to take out Corki and Janna, and that is going to fall in favor of Team raGe, even though Cyan fell a 3 for 2 exchange, and they are going to probably also get Irelia here unless she can figure out some sort of way to get out. Misfortune, with her passive, is just able to run so fast and do a lot of damage. So I have to imagine we're going to see... Oh no, getting caught up in the minions.
Saving Irelia.
But we're going to see raGe start to take the Baron, and that's just a great heads-up play from them. We've got 3 people from Just the Usual down, so it looks like raGe is going to take the Baron, and they're going to also take the 3 for 2 exchange. Big fight there for Team raGe.
Yeah, one of the keys right here is Irelia, even though she did so well in lane, she just doesn't have enough build. Oh my gosh! Who took it?
Shyvana went in with the flash, stole the Baron. Baron stolen in favor of Team Just the Usual. It looks like Irelia is sitting in the bush there. Big damage onto Misfortune, and she falls. The ignite and the damage. What a great heads-up play from... oh, and we see Lee Sin in here. It could be scary. Oh, she's going to back out just in time, but man, oh man. Smart play by Team Just the Usual. They are not falling easily on this one. They're not falling easily. They're going to continue to fight as long as they can.
Yeah, every time we say that it looks like raGe is going to be winning this game, Just the Usual just comes back and makes some crazy play and shows that they're still in this game, and they are just not giving up. They are continuing to give themselves some reason to fight. Even after that team fight, when Irelia was being 1v1 by Misfortune. Misfortune was winning that 1v1. If you saw it in the corner, Irelia and Misfortune was just sort of duking it out. Misfortune really got the better of Irelia, but that time Irelia just sort of, with Baron buff, of course, just sort of jumped on Misfortune and said, nope, you're mine this time.
Now, one thing we are going to see is now that they've had a chance to go back. Oh, the flash out from Sion. Yeah, he had a flash out. One thing to take note of is now that Team Rage has had the opportunity to go back, they are still way ahead in the gold count. They have a 9K gold advantage. I mean, taking a look here, Sion right now with 12,000 gold, raGe only 8,000. That's a 4K advantage for your AP carry. We also have Lee Sin, who has over 10K right now. Shyvana only with 7. We have Misfortune with 10K. Corky is staying right alongside her, though, and Corky really has been doing a great job for Team Just the Usual, so I'm not surprised by that one. But really, you're seeing the gold advantage right now in favor of Team Rage, and that's going to affect these team fights as we see the initiation down from Lee Sin. Lee Sin, he does his Resonating Strike. There goes the ultimate from Malphite and Misfortune. Great heads-up play from Janna, making it so that it's a 3-on-2. Great play from Janna. Malphite is going to fall to raGe. However, Irelia goes down to Misfortune. raGe is still in there doing a lot of damage. He is probably going to be able to... No, he is not able to take out Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to fall instead to Corky, and Sion picking up the kill on raGe. That is going to be a 2-for-2 exchange right now with Just the Usual on the run, and I believe... Oh, this could be dangerous for Shyvana. Shyvana is going to have to run out of there. However, the passive for Misfortune, she will probably be able to catch up and do this slow, do her make it rain onto Shyvana. No, she's not going to be able to. Sion's still running in there. I'm not sure why Shyvana went back in. Why Shyvana was stayed underneath the turret. She got stunned, and she is going to fall. And that'll be, instead, a 3-for-2 exchange in favor of Team Rage.
I'm not entirely certain why Shyvana turned around. I guess she felt like she had the tower advantage, but Sion does so much burst right now. He does have his Void Staff, so even though Shyvana has her Merc Treads and her Wit's End, it's not going to be enough. Cutting through 40% of that magic resist, plus whatever Sion has, almost certainly has the magic penetration masteries, and possibly even some magic pen runes.
So 35 minutes into the game, it's 21-12 kill count in favor of Team Rage. They also have about a 10K gold advantage. It's game number 2. Rage does need to win this one if they want to go on to game number 3 for the League Monthly tournament brought to you by Esports Monthly. And this has just been a great game so far. Really kind of heavy-handed over towards Rage, but every time Rage makes some sort of big play, Just the Usual is right back there sticking alongside of him.
Now, Dragon is going to raGe right there. raGe just picking it up for free, widening that gold gap. However, we've seen the gold gap has stayed around 10K, and raGe has not been able to open it any farther. And as the game goes on, as people get more built, the gold advantage starts to mean less and less, just because of, I don't know, I guess you could say the numbers. But it looks like raGe is going to come around here. It looks, I'm not certain what they want to do. It looks like they want to tank tower. No, they just want to come up into the jungle. And they know that they're there. Lee Sin has queued onto Corky, but Lee Sin has been caught out of position now. He's going to W out Misfortune, throwing down her ultimate, doing a lot of damage, especially to Janna right there. But it's not going to be enough. However, Just the Usual looks like they want to back off here. raGe is sort of hanging around Baron, not sure why. I don't think that Baron is going to be spawning for another couple of minutes or so. So that play, though it could have been clutch if Baron was going to spawn soon, I don't think there was much of a purpose to it. However, they have gathered. Looks like they want to try and push top. They're running around in the jungle, maybe waiting for a blue buff. They just want to try to get any advantage they can, because the advantage they have has shown to just not be enough. They are grasping at straws here for whatever will win them the game, and it looks like they think it's going to be towers. Now that is increasing the global gold for them. They are now finally starting to widen that gold gap beyond 10K into about 12K right now. I actually like 11.5K. That can be important.
Oh boy, we see
that 500 gold.
We do see Just the Usual starting to make their way in now. I have to imagine that raGe would love to team fight on this one. You do have the Janna ultimate that's up. Well, pretty much everyone having their ultimate up. But Janna ultimate does negate Malphite's ultimate as well as Misfortune's ultimate. So, I mean, maybe that's the reason they're kind of waiting to bait out that Janna ultimate so they can have a better opportunity. We do see a lot of raGe starting to make their way back. And we see Just the Usual pushing that mid lane back out. I'm kind of surprised by they're really wanting to put that down. And they do take down the turret. So, Just the Usual just sticking in there. They keep sticking in there. They keep doing important objectives that are keeping them in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Just the Usual is doing such a very good job of saying, nope, we're not done. They're picking up their blue buff for raGe, going to make raGe a lot more powerful. He is starting to get decently built right now. I think he's a little bit underbuilt for this point in the game. He only has 168 CS for 38 minutes into the game. That's not nearly as much as Sion, who is at 308 and having 8 kills and 7 assists. However, we see he's getting very close to finishing his build. He has picked up a Lich Bane, which means he is going to be dealing 580 damage with an auto attack after he casts an ability.
Wow.
That, I don't even know what to say about that. That is insane.
That's a big number.
That is a very big number.
Yeah, but however, keep in mind that right now raGe does have a little bit over 4,000 mana, and he scales mostly with mana. Now we see both teams starting to make their way towards the river here. Malphite with the Oracle, he is going to take out that. Corki kind of laying down a little bit of punishment on the passive. That Malphite passive is just so strong, though. He hasn't even really technically taken damage until after that overload from raGe, which was like a scratch onto Malphite. We see both teams starting to kind of creep it, take some creeps here, and both teams really playing conservatively over the past about 5 minutes. I'm kind of surprised. I think they're both waiting to see who takes Baron buff on this one, and Baron has respawned. We see that they're sitting there. The CV does come down, and raGe is just trying to bait them in there. They're saying, listen, come in, take the fight. We see a pink ward being laid down. They know that there are no wards in the area right now for Just the Usual, which is surprising. Just the Usual usually has really strong ward coverage. Right now, they don't have any ward coverage around Baron besides this one that's by blue buff. The pings are starting to make their way down. They're starting to make their way, and we do see a ward starting to get laid down. And I'm assuming we're going to see a team fight pretty shortly here.
Now, what it looks like is happening is Just the Usual wants to see if they can get raGe to waste their initiation.
Oh,
however,
we see the
Lee Sin
flash in from Lee Sin.
Slow everyone. And now the shield has gone out, and now Lee Sin is trying to chase down Aurelia. Aurelia has been chased out of the fight. This Fortune's ult is going out, dealing a lot of damage to John. John throws our ultimate to stop the initiation, but it looks like she's going to get taken out anyway. No, she flashes out, and she hasn't got on her butt. She throws out her shield. Malphite ultimate, only hitting raGe. That is almost enough. No, raGe gets out barely. Now Shyvana is stuck in the middle of all of them and is going to be taken down. However, they're going to trade Sion for it, and now the new ult is coming out, slowing everyone down. It comes out full blast. Now Aurelia going down. That is a 3 for 2 in the favor of raGe. Wow, what a strong initiation for raGe there. Definitely coming out on top, and they do have Misfortune up. However, they're a little bit low. They don't want to try and take Baron right now. A little bit too risky with Ryze and Corki still up. What an excellent initiation from raGe. The flash in from Lee Sin. Usually that flash E is not what's seen as strong, but we saw right there he used it, slowed everyone down, and allowed the rest of the team to catch up and catch them off guard, so Just the Usual could not reposition themselves the way that they wanted to. They thought they were safe, and Lee Sin said no.
Ryze does have a lot of wards, and he's starting to ward the Baron area because I'm sure we're going to see another Baron fight come up pretty shortly here. Yeah, you're right. That was a bit of an interesting fight, and it was a great call by Lee Sin to go in and initiate. I was really surprised by Just the Usual. Even though they're down by 10 kills, they are down about 12k gold. They are sticking in there in damage. They're continuing to put out just enough damage to take out a few players of raGe. Corki does have his Trinity Force. He is building towards his... he does have his Infinity Edge, almost enough to put a Last Whisper on there. And once he has his Last Whisper, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage onto the tanks as well. And so even though we see right now the gold being stacked in favor of raGe, a lot of... we see Corki sticking in there with the team. We do see... is on top of that, Aurelia is still barely holding in there. And Ryze is still able to do a respectable amount of AoE damage with his ultimate. And so... Just the Usual is still sticking in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have seen such strong fight in high-level play. Such strong team fighting in high-level play. They just will not give up. Every time it seems like raGe has a great initiation, Just the Usual is able to make sure that they don't lose too much from it, and sometimes even come out equal for it. However, Just the Usual has been split. Corki and John are down bot. It looks like Lisa wants to engage on it. The Q comes out, but it misses Shyvana. And this is not going to be the initiation that they are looking for. However, Corki is coming up front here. Is going to get caught by Lee Sin. Lee Sin can throw out a Q right now. Oh, no, barely misses Corki. He sidesteps just enough. This has been so close. If Lee Sin had landed either of those Qs, that could have easily been the game for raGe. We are 43 minutes into the game right now. And that is going to make the death timers long enough. The lane, of course, is pushed right around the middle. And this next team fight could easily decide the game if one team comes out far enough ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And right now it looks like they are making their pings down. They do have wards for both. Actually, it's kind of funny because the blue ward is sitting, the ward for Just Usual is sitting in the bush they were in, and the ward right now for Team raGe is sitting in the bush that they're in. So they're going to hop into that bush. They are going to be able to take out the ward. Malphite still has his Oracle. Actually, he had to go back and buy a new Oracle, I believe, after one of the team. No, he did not. And they are going to start to make the initiation onto Baron. This is going to be the big fight. We're going to see Corki starting to make his way in there. I'm assuming we'll see Corki starting to lay down some big bombs.
No, they're moving out.
Oh, we do see the initiation from Irelia. Irelia is going to get hit hard. The Misfortune ultimate, Nunu ultimate now is being slowed. The Misfortune ultimate did a lot of damage, enough to take out Irelia and Shyvana. And it looks like right now raGe is just doing a lot of damage. Corki going to fall right now. A triple kill for Misfortune, a quadra kill for Misfortune, and Rise is just sitting around there. It looks like raGe is going to come out the big winner of that team fight, and they are going to force this mid turret and also this inhibitor. Just a great play from Team raGe, and I think you were right. I think that team fight is probably going to decide this one. We've got 40 seconds on 4 members of Just the Usual. We'll probably see these turrets fall pretty fast.
Now I saw possibly one of the most powerful plays that I've seen this entire game. Oh, it looks like they're not going to quite give it up yet. Lee Sin is forced to flash out, and the lane is not pushed. It looks like Just the Usual is going to be able to hang on for just a little bit longer. They refuse to give in.
We get some kind of weird lag on the stream here, kind of bugging out a little bit, a little frustrated about that. But yeah, we do see that. Now we are going to see Baron go in favor. They're going to say, listen, we can't get those turrets. We are going to grab Baron. Now this might... I don't see Just the Usual coming back from this one. They are now down 14 kills, a gold of advantage of almost 16, as well as Baron buff right now. They're going to make their way back, start to finish up some of their builds. You see for Team raGe right now, Nunu has his Locket of the Iron Solari. We've got the Cherulia's Reverie and a lot of wards. For Misfortune, she's got her Phantom Dancer. She's got her Infinity Edge, her Last Whisper, her Wriggle's Lantern as well. Scion, who has just been absolutely dominant. He has almost 620 AP right now with his Deathfire Grasp, Void Staff, Lichbane, and Rabadon's Death Cap. So not to mention he has a lot of AP. He's doing a lot of burst. He's also doing a lot of burst with his axe after then. He also has the active from Deathfire Grasp, and he has a lot of magic penetration doing work on those team fights as well. And so really right now raGe has the control over this game. 45 minutes into it, I have to imagine they're going to put the nail in the coffin pretty soon here. Definitely.
I'd actually like to give a little shout out to Nunu there in that last team fight. I saw possibly the best Nunu ultimate I've ever seen. Let's see, they initiated, Malphite ulted, they focused on Irelia, and then before Just the Usual could answer with an initiation of their own, he ulted and slowed them all so they couldn't do it, and allowed the rest of raGe to initiate for the rest of the fight and finish them all off. I was so impressed with that.
Yeah, he's been really playing some really excellent Nunu, and that Nunu ultimate is so strong in team fights. Not only does it do a respectable amount of damage with little AP. If you're looking at it here, it has 1,125 base damage at the end of it. If you can get the whole channel off, that's a lot of base damage. Now we are going to probably not see into that full thing. We do see the team fight starting to initiate. Janna laying down a tornado. Corki starting to lay down some bombs. Misfortune, who has a Guardian's Angel at this point, is taking some pretty serious damage. Kind of surprised Misfortune grabbing the Guardian's Angel, but a smart move from her nonetheless. Misfortune has just been doing a lot of work in this late game. Right now, 10, 1, and 9. Scion was the big factor early game. Misfortune has showed up in a big way here late game from Nihilius. And Lee Sin actually laying down his taunt here in this team fight. I have to imagine we'll see a team fight break out pretty soon here. I'm surprised we haven't seen a Malphite ult to kind of pick somebody off. Scion in there laying down his shield. Both teams just kind of poking each other back and forth. They're probably waiting for another creep wave before they will initiate onto this one. Look for the Malphite ultimate. Team Just the Usual is going to do their best not to be grouped up when that happens because they want as little people as possible. Irelia also has her Guardian's Angel. Oh, there goes the ultimate down from Irelia. She's starting to do some damage in there. They are taking that turret and fast. Janna with her ultimate. However, Lee Sin is just sticking to Just the Usual. Rise is going to fall fast to Misfortune. There goes Shyvana with her ultimate trying to get out of there. There goes another person falling. Shyvana to Scion. Lee Sin taking out Janna. This might just be it as they start to turn their focus over to the turrets. and I don't think Corky and I really are going to be able to do enough right now. They have the full team up, and they all have respectable amount of health. They take out the first turret, take out the second turret. They're going to start making their way over to the Nexus. Nunu with his ultimate just to kind of slow them down in the area. Oh, Scion falls, but he does have his Guardian's Angel, and that is going to be a victory as my client is lagging up a little bit there. Victory in favor of raGe. So it is going to be a 1-for-1 in the finals here, and it is going to go into game number 3 for the finals here on League Monthly. Man, I am excited. Game 3 too often. I'm really excited about this.
Wow, I think